Hey everyone, Scott Sillari with Real Synch. I'm super excited to be here with Clay Bryne from the Byrne Real Estate Group, and we're just going to be talking a little bit about how Clay has worked with Real Synch and how he's come to use us for our services, not just our integration platform. So Clay, tell me a little bit about your business and
Sure.
where you guys work out of in your market and everything.
We're in the great state of Texas, in Austin, Central Texas. So as you've heard, we're totally on fire, scrambling around 12, 14 hours a day, every day. I've got a team of just 7 agents. We've got 3 director of operations, transaction coordinator, marketing. I've got a VA, commercial broker. So we have a pretty good team. I've been in the business for about 25 years. We served about 165 families this year. So by today's standards, we're just a medium-sized team, and we're having the time of our lives.
Nice. I love it, man. I love it. So talk to me a little bit about like the problem that you were having when it came to some of your data, your automation, and basically take me through that process a little bit.
Yeah, so we cranked up a lot of different lead generation sources this year based on this, mastermind couple groups that I got into. And we were having problems with, like, a lead would come in and it was like over here in this, I don't know, program or whatever. And then another lead would come in, it was over here in this program. And then the phone would ring and it was over here in this program. And I was losing my mind trying to keep up with all this stuff. And then I met you guys it was kind of funny, actually. I was like, I really want this website, this outward facing website, but I need to get those leads into my CRM. And they're like, well, we don't have a solution. And then I looked over and I saw you guys like literally right next to me. I was like, hey, meet Real Synch. Real Synch, meet these guys. Y'all can help each other. And then y'all were like, yeah, this is what we can do. We can do your GLS leads. We can do your PPC leads. We can do your call rail calls. Like, we can do all this stuff for you and get it into one CRM. And it's instantaneous so that our speed of lead still is, 60 seconds or less. And it was just like, I don't know, like all these problems just evaporated. It was amazing.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah. So obviously we meet at this event down in Houston, and then tell me a little bit about the process. So once we're like, yeah, we can do that for you. Tell me a little bit about the process and how that went, because, honestly, we haven't spoke. Maybe we spoke once since then, but I have a team, you have a team. Tell me a little bit about what happened.
Here's the best part about that. I don't know. I said, Stephanie, do this. She did it, and y'all did it, and I didn't hear any complaining about it. All I knew is like the problem was gone.
Yeah, dude, I love that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I know from my end, it was the same thing. I go, hey, Josh, who's my guy. I'm like, talk to Stephanie. Here's what they need. But it speaks to kind of
it was easy.
It's easy, but also like, hey, that's one of the things we do. We kind of just patch things together, right? And we make it work, and we do it seamlessly, and we do it quickly. And then, so, a lot of people are always like asking like, well, is integration really expensive? Like, talk to me a little bit about, like, I know you obviously paid a little bit for this, but was it something where you're like, man, this is way too much for the value? Or like, talk to me a little bit about that.
That's a good question. It's like, I'm going to say it's like right on the line. But I say that because I get that bill every month and I'm like, wow, that's really like, that's not bad at all. And then I remember how much of the headache and the pain and the suffering I had. And I'm not kidding about that, because when you're trying to sort out all these leads that are coming in from all these different places, like, it is a total pain in the rear end.
Yeah.
So it's totally worth it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's cheap and like, it's like a high value thing, because that's not the kind of service it is, but it was worth it. I mean, it's totally worth it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, no, that's what I want to hear, because it's tough. It's something you're not seeing. Right. And it's like, oh, this money produced this lead, right? It's something that's kind of behind the scenes. So there is that kind of check. They have to check yourself, being like, hey, is it doing what it's supposed to be doing? Is it actually making these things more efficient? So what would you say to someone that's like, that may be watching this and has maybe some automation or system issues, and they're putting their hands up, being like, I'm losing sleep at night. I'm going through some of these issues that Clay is talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a growing team and you've got a lot of lead sources coming in and you're really addicted to your CRM or you're not willing to change that, I'm not even, that's not even an issue. But like, if you're at a spot where you're like going from like 30 million to 70 million, or you're like making a big jump, and you're adding agents, you're doing all these things, you have a lot of other things to worry about. And so leverage is the name of the game. And by you guys taking that off my plate, I literally don't have to think about this problem I have anymore, because it was plaguing me. I'm like, God, like, I don't know how do we keep up with this? Do I do a spreadsheet? Do I, like, who's going to own that? Now I don't even have to think about it. Literally, you just like initiated it, and it's done. And now we can move on to other problems, because there's plenty of them. Right. So
Yeah.
it's worth the money. It's a big time saver. Like I wouldn't even think much more than like 30 seconds about it.
Awesome. Well, Clay,
and now I don't ever have to think about it again. So
yeah.
Perfect.
And I have even, you know, what's nice is, and so part of what you're paying for, right, is also Stephanie can come to us at any time for any problem that she's having. And it's kind of like a fractional IT type of scenario, which there's various plans, right? And that's something I can even talk to her about if that's something that you guys even need at this point. You just need to be running the integrations, right? So, you know, when you're working with Real Synch, we just try to be very transparent and open about what we can and can't do for you, and what the cost is going to be, and hopefully we're helping you, you know, automate your systems, right?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
And I don't have to think about it anymore. That's my favorite part. I don't have to think about it.
Awesome. Well, Clay, I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much for pulling over on the off the road.
I know. I'm on the road today.
Giving me a quick interview and being an advocate for our company. I really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. And sorry I was late. But you guys are amazing. Thanks for all the work that you've done. And literally, thank you for getting that out of my head.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, cool.